Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Elder Tony Williams. I'm a real estate investor and entrepreneur, and I post content weekly here on the channel. Make sure you hit like, comment, and subscribe down below. This video, I'm going to be talking about why you should move out of the hood. Let's get into it. Alright, so what I do want to mention is this video won't be directed at anyone that's in a position that can't move out of the hood. If you're on a path that I was on, as you're like establishing yourself, it's going to become a time to where you do have the option to be able to make that jump or stay where you are currently at as living in the hood or moving to a better community. I will be making a video shortly on why you can't move out of the hood. Make sure you hit like, comment, and subscribe for that video that's coming soon. But I just wanted to make this disclaimer because it is that not everyone can move out of the hood. Not everyone is in that position to be able to make that jump to move out of the hood. So don't take any offense to this video here. Let's go. I also don't want to come from a position as someone who didn't live it, someone who wasn't inside that environment, one that wasn't wrapped up in it. I mean, I got old videos myself. I was deep into it, and deep into the culture and the mindset of that environment. With that being said, that brings us to our first reason on why you should move out of the hood is the mentality. The mentality that you get by living inside of the hood. I mean, when I moved out of the hood, people was like, "Hey, why you backing in your parking spots? I mean, why you always looking over your shoulders? Why you always looking around?" It's like the mindset and the different habits you get by living inside the hood. It puts you in a different state to where you won't notice it until you move out of that environment, and get into a more calm mindset where you don't have to always look over your shoulder, always have to be on alert. Not saying crime doesn't happen everywhere, but then again, it just lowers your odds of being inside of a crime if you're inside of a better environment. And also, like I said, it's less stress off your mind. A lot of people don't notice how more stressful it is when you're into that environment, but then when you do move out of that environment, you look around, you be like, wow, I was really into some stuff, and I was really on the edge, and I was always cautious of where I'm going, who's gonna be there, and everything. Like it just puts you in a totally different mind space, and then that's the key on what you're gonna need to even propel yourself further in life. So when you do make that moving into a better environment, it's gonna open up your mind to where you can focus on things that's gonna make you more money and propel you even further in your life. And so since we're talking about environment, let's talk about the cleanliness of the area. Something you never notice until you leave and then come back to the hood at a later time in your life. So when I was younger, my cousin, he didn't live in the hood, so I used to travel. When I traveled to his neck of the woods, it was suburban, big homes, 3,000 square foot homes, and I mean, I used to walk and I used to see him, and I used to be like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is where I want to be. Someone house is like 3 or 4 times bigger than the house that I'm living in. That was just mind blowing. But then as far as cleanliness of the environment, I mean, I remember walking with my cousin. We're walking down the street looking at the big homes because that's the neighborhood he stayed in. And I'm like, dude, look at their grass. Just look at their grass. I got dirt patches all in the yards in the neighborhood that I live in, but look at their grass, perfectly cut. I mean, you might have said it's a small thing, but back then, even I noticed that as a little kid. I was like, dude, look at these yards. There's no trash, no littering, no none of that. Like this, it was mind blowing to me, but to him, he was just looking at me like I was crazy, man. Just looking at me like I was crazy. But I'm like, look, I mean, it's dirt in my neighborhood, and y'all got grass. So that was just another thing on the environment. It changes you. It changes when you're in that environment. And even from that young age, I knew I wanted to get out of the hood to move to a better environment and experience a nice clean cut yards in the grass. And also another thing to touch on here, which is, we don't know who to put the fingers on, who to blame, but let's talk about the schools. the school systems are like night and day. And I didn't get older until I realized, like, man, why is this such a thing? Why is, the school that I'm at can barely afford books. I mean, they used to print our stuff out on paper. The teacher had a book. She would put it on a copier, copy the page for us, and then hand that out in class. We didn't actually have textbooks to the school that I had went to. If so, it was very, very few of them. And that's how they used to hand out work. The computers were horrible. Like it was like dinosaurs. This is probably like the first computers that they came out with. First Windows computers they came out with. And in a different environment, they were getting, Macintosh computers. They was getting Macs. They was working on Macs, in my cousin's schools. And, it just put them in a better space as a young child to propel them even further. That's why it's so hard when you do, or, your kids do grow up in the hood or live in the hood. It's that major gap in between kids that live in the suburbs as far as advancement in technology and the kids that live in the hood as far as advancement in technology and the things that they actually learn inside of school. And that's a thing where I feel like moving into the suburban area, you put your kids in an extreme advantage. It should not be like this. Not saying it should not be like this, but you put your kids in an extreme advantage when they go to a better school district. And I didn't notice that until I got older, and I look back and then I finally found out, like, hey, it's just because the tax base inside of the better communities, but that tax base gives more to the schools, so the schools can improve that school even more. But if you're living in the hood, everyone in the hood doesn't have, great top jobs, or they're not engineers, they're not doctors, lawyers. So the tax base is so small, it's harder to fund all the things that the school need to be able to teach the kids, and it creates this endless cycle, or this loop that keeps going and going and going because the community is poor. So it's harder to educate the kids, which then in turn makes it harder for them to get better jobs or have better connections to be able to get a better job to even propel themselves out of that environment of being poor. I mean, this is one of the key reasons right here, is because if you want that generational wealth, what I talk about a lot on this channel, it also starts with making sure when your kids get the wealth, they know how to handle it, and teaching them and making sure they went to the correct schools and they've learned everything. So this is like really, I feel like it's one of the biggest reasons why you should move out of the hood if you have kids. And the reason that I moved out of the hood is because I have kids as well, is because it's putting them at an advanced state instead of growing up in the hood and just being around that environment and not having all the tools that they need to be able to propel themselves further in life. So I'm not saying it should be this way, but that's the kind of world we live in today, to where schools and public schools are based on your zip code. So if you're in a more poorer zip code, that's the kind of school district your kids are going to experience, and that's the kind of schools you probably experience as well. And what I also hear a lot is, hey Tony, moving to a better environment is not gonna, guarantee your safety or guarantee that your kids become engineers, doctors, or lawyers. And I know this. I definitely know this. But the thing is, it increases your odds. And that's the key in this situation. You want to increase your odds of success as much as you can. You want to increase your odds of your kids' success as much as you can. And you want to increase the odds of you being safe as much as you can. And that's what it's all about. Being safe, being in a better environment, better mind space, growing as a person. These are some of the things that I feel holds you back. And a major part of that holds you back is the environment that you live in, aka being the hood. Being in that environment will really hold you back from expanding your mind and guaranteeing, and not guaranteeing but increasing the odds of your kids' safety. And those are the reasons I feel like you should move out of the hood. You should move out of the hood. I mean, you should save as much as you can, put as much of your income as you can towards renting or buying a place that's in a better environment, and it's gonna pay off in the long run. Hey, make sure you hit like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, it's your boy Elder Tony Williams. I post videos like this pretty much weekly. So, peace.